When you first open up your Cameo 4, you'll see a URL printed on a pamphlet and right on the box, www.silhouetteamerica.com/setup. This is where you'll find a step-by-step guide for registering and setting up your cutter, installing the Silhouette Studio software, claiming your free 1-month subscription to Silhouette Design Store, and getting access to your 100 free library shapes. If you've used the Silhouette Cameo 3 before, setting up and using the Cameo 4 is very similar. All you'll need to do is update to Silhouette Studio version 4.3, which is available at silhouetteamerica.com/software. But before we dive into the software side of things, let's take a look at what's inside the Silhouette Cameo 4's box. One of the first things you'll take out of the box are several accessories and essentials. This includes the auto blade, Cameo 3 tool adapters, USB cable, and power supply. Next up is a standard 12-inch by 12-inch cutting mat and a pamphlet with info on Silhouette's product setup page. Last but not least, we've got the amazing Silhouette Cameo 4. After you get it out of the foam and plastic, you'll see that there are strips of tape all over the machine. Now these are to keep certain parts safe and in place during shipping. Be sure to closely inspect your Cameo and remove all of this protective tape and any other packaging materials that may have been included. Now that we've gotten everything out of the box, we're almost ready to get cutting. Load the auto blade onto the Tool 1 carriage. And lastly, install the latest version of Silhouette Studio on your computer. Once that's done, go ahead and connect your Cameo 4 to your power outlet and computer. Then turn it on. I'm going to move over to my computer so I can show you how to do your first cut. I'll be using one of the free library shapes that comes with the Cameo 4, so I encourage you to pause this video as much as necessary so you can follow along on your own. Here we are in Silhouette Studio version 4.3. First, let's go to the page setup module to adjust our media settings. I have a 12-inch by 1-foot sheet of green apple Caesar EasyWeed, so I'm going to change the dimensions to the max 12 by 12 inches. Notice how the preview of the cutting mat in my workspace changes to match the dimensions that I've set. Next, we need something to cut. I'm going to select one of the 100 free shapes that's included with every Silhouette Cameo. Alright, this one looks nice. Now by double-clicking on a shape, it's going to load directly into my workspace. I'll be pressing onto a medium t-shirt, so I'm going to need to resize this image to 8 inches wide. There are a few ways to resize this in Silhouette Studio. You can grab a top or bottom side corner of the shape and stretch it out, or you can adjust it in inches on the top toolbar. You can even open up the transform panel, go to the scale tab, and change its size by percentage or in inches. For the last two methods, be sure to click the lock beforehand so that way the shape scales evenly. One thing that really helps save your material is adding a weed box around your design. So I'm going to select the rectangle tool, then draw a rectangle around my graphic. Going back to my select tool, I want to group these objects together so I can move them at the same time. To do that, right-click and group them together, or just hit Ctrl+G. Lastly, I'm going to move the graphic and weed box at the top left corner of the red cut borders. Having a weed box saves material, makes weeding a lot easier, and also helps later on when I place my transfer on my t-shirt. Now it's ready to be cut, so we're going to load our material into the Cameo before we proceed. The cutting mat should come with a protective sheet over the sticky part of the mat. However, the mat may have too much tack for some materials. If that's the case, you can season your mat by pressing it up against your t-shirt or something similar. Once your material is on the mat, place it below the Cameo and tap on the up arrow to load it. Now let's move over to our Send tab in Silhouette Studio. One of the many things I love about this software is that it has a variety of material presets. I'm going to select Heat Transfer Smooth for this cut. To further optimize it for Caesar EasyWeed, I'll change the blade roller to 3 and the force number to 6. Before cutting any new material for the first time, it's important to do a test cut. You can click the test button and the cutter will perform a small test cut. tapping the down arrow will unload the material. And if your test cut looks smooth and is easily liftable with a hook tool, you're all set to cut your transfer. If you end up with results that are off, however, continue to adjust the cut settings until you find what's best for your material. Otherwise, just click the send button, then click send mirrored and let your Cameo cut away. My vinyl is now cut with the shape. We can go ahead and start weeding and trimming the sheet. My transfer will be pressed onto a dark t-shirt using my 13 by 9 inch HPN Craft Pro heat press. I find it to be the perfect companion to cutters like the Cameo. Let's set the machine to the recommended Easy Weed settings. 305 degrees Fahrenheit at 12 seconds with medium pressure. After centering the transfer on the t-shirt, we'll cover it with a pro-grade non-stick sheet. Now we can press it. If you're having issues with how to place transfers on your shirts, we recommend grabbing the T-squared and logo gridded tools. These will help you center and align your transfers like a pro. And just like that, our transfer is done. The Silhouette Cameo 4 is now ready for your next project. The Cameo 4 is a powerful machine and isn't limited just to heat transfer vinyl, as it's able to cut everything the Cameo 3 can and more. This includes materials like heat transfer paper, adhesive sticker vinyl, cardstock, and a whole lot more.